Welcome back to the final part of this 4-part series. In this series, I am covering the origin of every single villager in Animal Crossing New Horizons. That is 413 villagers. This video will cover all the villagers whose names start with Q all the way to the letter Z. If you want to see any villagers whose names start with A through P, check out the previous parts. But without further ado, let's get started. Our first villager in this video, Queenie. Queenie is an emu, and emus are native to the state of Queensland in Australia. A quill is a writing utensil made out of a feather, which is something that Quilson, the duck, would have a lot of on his body. Quinn's name was not immediately apparent to me. In Japanese, she's named after a purple flower. So when I looked up flowers that start with the letter Q, I found the quince flower, which is native to Japan. I love the frog villagers, but in Animal Crossing, I have never vibed with Rattle. He's one of my least favorite. I am a germaphobe, and I always got icked out by how sickly he looks. And it makes sense that he looks sickly, because he's named after a rattling cough. Rasher is a pig named after a rasher of bacon, a thin slice of bacon. We have a fan favorite here now. Raymond is up next. Raymond's name means someone who is an advice giver. Raymond in-game gives professional business advice, as evidenced by his home. Renee is a rhinoceros. Her name is supposed to sound like rhino. Renee, rhino. Renee is a horse. Horses go neigh. Rex is the Latin word for king, and lions are the kings of the jungle. Rhonda is a rhinoceros. Rhonda and rhino both start with RH. Ribbot's name is another portmanteau. We have seen a lot of those in this series. The two words that are combined to make up his name are ribbit, the sound a frog makes, and robot, which is what ribbot is. Ricky's name is a slight variation of Rocky, and Rocky is a famous squirrel from the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Rilla is a gorilla. Rio looks like she is dressed and ready to go to Carnival, which is fitting since she is named after the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro. Rizzo is named after the rat from the Muppets franchise. Rual is named after Roald Amundsen, a Norwegian explorer who made the trek to Antarctica, where penguins live. A robin is a type of bird that Robin is styled after. Rocco's name demonstrates his rock-hard personality. He is a cranky type, so he isn't as soft as other villagers. Rocket is one of the superhero villagers, and she shares a name with a few different comic characters, Rocket Raccoon and Nova, who was nicknamed the Human Rocket. Rod is a mouse, and mice is a type of rodent. Rod is in the word rodent. Rodeo's name comes from the event where cowboys try to wrangle livestock, like bulls. Rodney's name origin is very similar to Rod's. Rodney is a hamster, which is another type of rodent. Rolf's name comes from the onomatopoeia of a growling of a tiger. Rooney is a kangaroo, Kangaroony. In addition, he could also be styled after the boxer Kevin Rooney. Rory is a lion, lions roar. Roscoe is named after Roscoe Goose, a jockey who raced horses in competition, including the Kentucky Derby. Rosie has rosy pink cheeks. Roswell isn't a normal alligator. He is an otherworldly specimen, one that would have been investigated in Roswell, New Mexico. Rowan is named after the actor Rowan Atkinson, and they kind of look similar too. Ruby has deep ruby red eyes. Rudy has a bright red nose, much like another famous Rudy. Rudy is a nickname for Rudolph, as in the red-nosed reindeer. Sally is a squirrel. Both Sally and squirrel start with the letter S. Samson can be named after Samso cheese. It's the national cheese of Denmark. Sandy's name comes from the word sand, and a common misconception about ostriches is that they bury their heads in the sand. Sasha comes from a list of unisex names. Sasha's name in many languages are meant to be used by either male or female. This is due to Sasha having a more feminine appearance despite being a male villager. So his name is supposed to be a way to flip on gender roles. Savannah is named after the savanna biome that zebras live in Africa. Scoot is a childish villager. His name could come from a playground equipment of scooters. Shari's Japanese name is Sherry, so Shari, slight English change to that Japanese name. Sheldon the squirrel must love nuts, but to get that nut, you have to crack open the hard outer shell. Sheldon is named after the shell of a nut. Shep is a sheepdog, a dog that is used by shepherds to wrangle sheep. Sherb is a lazy type villager. Lazies love food. Sherb is named after sherbet, a type of ice cream. Shino's name is a portmanteau of the Japanese words shika and no. Shika is the word for deer, while no is a type of Japanese theater. Simon's name derives from the word simian, order of ape classification. Sky is sky blue in color. The word sly means someone who is deceitful or secretive. Sly is dressed in camouflage and attire someone wears when they want to be deceitful, secretive, under the cover and not noticed. Snake is dressed like Snake from the Metal Gear series. This one is easy. Snooty is a snooty type villager. Soleil's name means sun in French. Soleil is bright yellow and orange, just like the colors of the sun. A sparrow is a type of bird. Spike is a punk rhinoceros. Spikes were accessories worn in many punk styles. A spork is a kitchen utensil that is a combination of a spoon and a fork, but that's not how spork got his name. Pork is the type of meat that comes from a pig, and the S is just added on for some flair. Sprinkle the penguin gets her name from how snowflakes sprinkle in the sky, glistening. Sprocket is a robot made of all different types of machine parts. He likely has some sprockets in him, as sprocket is a type of machine part. Static electricity is a buildup of a charge. Static the squirrel has a lightning bolt on him, so he is full of electricity. Stella's name is Latin for star. This refers to Stella being a sheep, and when people struggle to sleep at night, they count sheep. So Stella is one of those stars in the night sky. Sterling wears silver armor. Sterling silver is a standard of silver. I'm gonna be honest, I did not know who Stinky was. I did not know he existed as a villager. When I was writing this video script, I came across Stinky and I was befuddled. I have never seen this man in my life. But I was able to uncover that Stinky is named that because he is a wrestler who is doing workouts all day in the gym, and when you are sweating a lot, you get quite stinky. Stitches is a patchwork bear sewn together. He's held together with stitches. Stew is named after the food dish, stew. Stews contain broth, veggies, and beef, and Stew, the cow or bull, makes beef. Sydney is a koala. Koalas are from Australia. Sydney is a city in Australia. The word Silvana means of the forest. Squirrels like Silvana are definitely of the forest. Sylvia is another tricky name. Every once in a while, I come across a villager that has me stumped, but what I decided on is that Sylvia was first introduced, she was a snooty type. Sylvia and snooty both start with the letter S. Also, it could be that kangaroos are from Australia, so the SY in Sylvia could connect to the SY in Sydney, but we already have a villager that's connected to the city of Sydney. My final theory is that there's a species of marsupial called the tree kangaroo. It has a pouch in it and everything, and it lives in the trees in the forest in Australia. So Sylvia could be a forest type like Silvana. Easier though, we have Tabby. Tabby is a tabby cat. Tad is a young frog. You can tell he's young because he's named after a tadpole, a baby frog. Tammy with an I is named after a tamarin, a species of monkey. Tammy with a Y is palm tree yellow. In Hebrew, Tammy means palm tree or date tree. Tangy is our orange little cat. Her name references the tangy taste of citrus fruit. A tank is a strong individual that can take a lot of hits without taking damage. Surely a rhinoceros is as strong as a tank. The Nintendo localizers loved the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle show because not only do we have Ricky from earlier in this video, but we now have Tasha, who is named after Natasha Fatale from the same series. A T-bone is a cut of steak, and T-bone is a bull that would produce T-bone steaks. Teddy is a teddy bear. Tex sounds a lot like tux, and penguins are black and white, almost like they're wearing tuxedos. Another theory I came across, but I'm not super hot of, is that Tex comes from the type of food Tex-Mex. Tex's catchphrase is picante, which means spicy in Spanish, so maybe this is a play about how Tex is hot, which is a juxtaposition to how penguins are usually cold, but I am more inclined to the Tex tuxedo theory. Tia is shaped like a teapot, a tia pot. Tian Sheng is in traditional Chinese makeup. His name comes from the story of the Monkey King. The Monkey King appeared in the story of Qi Tian Da Sheng. I'm sorry, I do not speak Chinese Mandarin. Tia Sheng's name is within the title of that story. Tiffany looks a lot like Audrey Hepburn's character in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Timbra is styled after a tree. Trees produce timber. Tipper is a cow, and in rural areas, an activity that teens do is cow tipping, where they tip over cows out in the fields. Toby is the Sanrio villager inspired by Karopi. Karopi and Toby's name rhyme, kinda. Tom is a tomcat, a male cat. Truffles are types of mushrooms that are hunted for by pigs. Tucker has some impressively large tusks. His name sounds like tusk. Tutu is a preppy, girly cheerleader type. A tutu is a piece of clothing worn by girly ballerinas. Twiggy is named after the material birds use to build nests, twigs. Tybalt is named after Juliet's cousin in Romeo and Juliet, the Shakespeare play. In the play, Tybalt is nicknamed the Prince of Cats. Tybalt, the tiger, is a cat. Now for the only villager whose names start with the letter U, Ursula. Ursa is Latin for bear. Velma very much resembles the Scooby-Doo character of the same name. Vesta is a sheep, and sheep produce wool when sheared. A type of clothing that could be made out of wool are vests. Vic is a Viking. Vic is short for Viking. Victoria is a racehorse, one who races towards victory. Violet is violet in color. I like this shade of purple. Vivian is a name whose origin is not super clear. Her Japanese name is Vanessa. I'm not sure why the localizers just did not keep Vanessa. My theory on why it was changed to Vivian for English players is that Vivian is a name that sounds more upper class and snooty, and Vivian is the snooty type. Vladimir is a Russian bear. Many bear species live in Russia, and Vladimir is a common Russian name. Wade is a term for when you walk through water. Wade the penguin would likely wade through water. Walker is a dog, and dogs need to go on walks to do their business. A dog walker is a profession that takes dogs on walks for busy owners. In part 3 of this video series, I told you about Mathilda and how her name comes from the song Waltz and Matilda. Well, Walt also comes from that song. 2 Aussie kangaroos whose name come from the same song. Frogs have bumps or warts on their bodies. Wart Jr. is named after those bumps. There's a rumor that toads can give humans warts through contact, but that is not true. As for the junior in his name, I have no clue. I think Animal Crossing just wanted to be a little silly. Weber is a duck, and duck have webbed feet. Wendy is bright sky blue. Between her color and her picture quote, every cloud has a silver lining. It's evident that Wendy is meant to be of the sky, where the wind blows. Wendy, windy. Whitney's name is similar to the color white. Whitney is a white wolf. Willow's name comes from the willow tree, a type of tree that has its leaves draped over, like the wool of a willow. Winnie's name comes from the horses whinny, the sound they make. Wolfgang is a wolf. The only villager whose name starts with the letter Y, Yuka, is a koala, and koalas eat eucalyptus. Zell is a gazelle. We are so close to the end of the video, and I hate to be so close to the end and tell you an I don't know type of villager name, but for this one, I do not know. Zoe means life in Greek. Zoe looks pretty lively. Anteaters like Zoe live in the Amazon. The Zoe in Amazon could tie with the Zoe in Zoe's name. And I'm sorry to be asking you guys for help this late in the video series, but if you have a better suggestion for Zoe's name, please tell me. And last but certainly not least, we have Zucker. At least I have a reasoning for Zucker's name. I'm not going to leave you completely high and dry. Zucker is an octopus, and octopuses have little suckers on them, the suction cups that are on the tentacles of octopi. Alright, that's it guys. If you've watched all 4 parts in this series, thank you so much. I would love if you've subscribed if you haven't already. I have lots more videos planned on Animal Crossing and other video game content. If you have any suggestions of other Animal Crossing videos you would like to see, please let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know which villager has your favorite name origin. I appreciate so much you guys checking out all 4 parts in this series if you have done so. And if not, please go back and check them out. Some of these villagers have really cool name origins. But I will leave you on that. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye!